everybody. I'm Larry Ridley.
Larry. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. It's a short kick, taking it to 15. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So here's the Charger offense making their way out. And trotting out there, their tall quarterback standing at 6'5". On first down, Robbins looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And they'll get him to the ground, but he got all the way down to the 30-yard line. That one goes for 36 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
They'll run it now out of the gun. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
So the offense now dealing with a 2nd and 7. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, you're just going to call him productive?
What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snootful, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game. Yeah, once more, strong running. Excellent blocking at the point of attack. Look at that nice little drive brewing right here.
Back to throw. Robbins. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I had missed him, it would have been a long night.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down. Operating from the gun. Robbins, and he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Well, that's how they envisioned to get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
And the Chargers grab the 7-0 lead. That time a 6-play drive. And it winds up with a touchdown for Los Angeles. The punter Kaiser now out to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. At a glance at the man under center at 6'5", he always demands attention. James now on 1st and 10. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Looking to throw. James got his man complete over the middle. That's Brooks. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. But this seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that first down on 3rd down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot of the field where you would take a shot. Do you change that up just because you're down a touchdown?
17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Can't get him down. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 14 carries, 57 yards.
After the last game, they had plenty of reason to be confident in the running game. And even though they're facing a top 10 defense, they're not going to shy away from doing what they do best. Make them adjust to them. Make them stop what they do before they go to any type of a changeup.
Back to throw. James to the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on 3rd down to bring up 4th. So the Giants now are going to turn it over to their field goal unit. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. And his kick is indeed good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So it goes down as an 8-play drive, and they cap it with the field goal.
Yeah, they were able to pick up a few first downs along the way, but they couldn't keep the momentum going all the way into the end zone.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. It's a short kick, taking it to 15. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Charger offense making their way back out there. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They run a draw here on second down. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They get 6 yards back on the run, but still have a 3rd and long situation forthcoming.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
To throw on 3rd down, Robbins. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
A really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming out.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40.
Brandon, sometimes I think when we watch games, we're actually watching a living museum because we're seeing the evolution of positions almost with each passing game. How about defensive ends nowadays and the way that they can run almost all the way across the field?
It is unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, they're so strong, but they're so lean, they can move so quick with those bodies.
It's almost unfair. You're supposed to be able to know where a defensive end is supposed to be on every play. These guys flash so quickly, you're not sure where they're going to end up.
On now, Kaiser, the punter, sending it away. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. And New York set to take the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it. Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
And incomplete here on third down.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Getting the sense Charles are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
And before they can get settled in here, time expires on the first quarter of action. The Chargers are on top. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this. Back now to begin the second quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Chargers here with a football, and they've got it here with a first down. They go play action here on first down. Looking deep downfield. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Second down now after the incompletion. Off play action. Robbins. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. B.J. Goodson. Tough to handle on that blitz. He gets him for a loss of 5. And I know it seems like we say this a lot in broadcast booths, but a quarterback can hold on to the football too long in these situations. I think he did right there.
Oh, I agree with you totally. Sometimes you have to understand situations. Get rid of the football, save some yardage to make it less to gain for the next down. Instead, he was so hipped on ball security, he held on to it and took a big sack.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Looking to throw. Robbins. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to make it fourth down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here's Drew Kaiser now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. Fielding just inside the 20. Just a 30-yard punt that time. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. And New York set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And to give this time to the tailback. And some space here. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice gain.
That's 30 yards now in the last 2 plays, back-to-back 15-yarders, and they're rolling.
That's a football play right there. That takes me back a little bit. Toss sweep to the right, get it to your back, get a lot of people out in front, control the line of scrimmage, wide receivers blocking downfield. It almost feels like half the crowd is in front of him, getting it down to the secondary. They have a tough time getting him down.
Now James throwing on first down. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 11 more on that one, and another first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Now. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold him.
Back to throw. James. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll step aside and come back to Carson after this. And now a first down following that long gain. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. If you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. He lost 4 there, and it's third down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side, but for lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Pushing through the contact. And this is caught at the 8. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Great patience in the pocket. Of course, it's easy to be patient when the protection's good, and it was.
Yeah, you've got to pat those guys on the helmet and say thanks because they gave him plenty of time to stay back there, survey the field, go through the reads that he wanted to, and deliver the ball accurately. That was really well executed.
Here we go now. Blue lining. Blue lining.
Now a handoff as they run left side. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
Coleman, and he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and goal. They'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
3rd and goal, they decided to throw for it, but how about the play defensively? Couldn't find anyone open, left him nowhere to go with the football, had to absorb the sack.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash, this from 37. And his kick is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. And Charles, they get the field goal. Took him a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with a quarterback on the ground so much.
Now, he'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down. To throw on 2nd down. Robbins. And he's going to be taken down. Penalty marker on the field, however. Which side is this on? And they will elect to decline the penalty.
Everything turned out the way they wanted it to. No sense in even having to take that one. Hence the decline.
On 3rd down, Robbins. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that's caught inside the 30. A big play there for the Chargers. 48 yards. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Southern California after this. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will join us from Orlando with our halftime report, but business to take care of before that.
Here we
on 1st and 10. Robbins to the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
Let's go! Brian 38! Brian 38!
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Robbins. And he's got it. And he's in for a Charger touchdown.
And that lead is now 7 with a chance to go to 8 or more if they want to get crazy here, which we don't expect. But I just know the way the game's being played with the analytics, there's going to be a lot more going for 2 in a lot of situations, isn't there?
Yeah, there's going to be. And I think their focus here, they don't want to give up anything going into the lockers on the other, and just a little bit of time left on the clock.
Yeah, they don't want to do anything to erase the good feeling they have right now by getting this late score in the half.
Novak is on to attempt the extra point. And it's up. It's good. Our score, 14-6. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it ends with the Chargers getting into the end zone. The punter Kaiser now out to kick it away. It's a short kick. Taken. Now a hit and a loose football. And picked up by the Chargers. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him. Really nice starting field position here for the offensive unit. Throwing on 1st down. Robbins. And this will be caught in the end zone for a Chargers touchdown.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-6. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. The punter Kaiser now out to kick it away. It's a short kick, taking it to 15. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. On first down, he'll drop to throw. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. Now whistles here and a flag down. I think a Giant jumped early.
False start, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. He'll look to throw. Quick throw that's complete on the inside slant. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. He'll look to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Looking to throw. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding, offense.
Well, they've already allowed 3 sacks in this first half. Now a holding penalty.
So I think drastic measures had to be taken, right? The regular way was not working. He was getting hit almost every snap, it felt like. They had to...
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line.
Thanks, Brandon. Thanks, Charles. And welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. The Chargers are happy to be sitting in the locker room with the lead. The Giants won't panic either. They know they just need to take it one play at a time. All right, let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. First and 10. Tight coverage here, but the completion is made, and he'll end up at the 30-yard line before being tackled. Chargers now later on the drive. The pass will be caught over the middle, and he caps off the 6-play drive with the score. As they get out to a 7-0 lead. Chargers now on 3rd and 8. Here the catch is made way downfield, and he'll end up at the 25-yard line before being tackled. Continuing on the drive, Reed's going to make the catch in traffic, and he caps off the 6-play drive with the score. The lead now at 8. Now 1st and 10. Reed's able to haul in the contested pass, and this will go all the way for a touchdown. The lead grows to 15. That'll do it for us here at EA Sports Studios. Let's get back out to Brandon and Charles for the call of the second half. Brandon.
This is taken at his 4. Able to push his way through, and he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. And, you know, their previous possession, they were able to move the football, but still wound up punting in the end.
You know, in 2016, Carolina had a 20-play drive that lasted over 10 minutes. And remember how it ended?
In a punt.
Yeah, I mean, how does that happen? You just don't see that happen every day.
This one maybe not quite that bad, but still, you'd like to have a chance for points if you hold the football that long.
Agreed.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. They'll set up a throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
On 3rd down, that's Reynolds. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
You know, we might start getting some props here in the booth. You know, that one that says the D and then the fence that you put up next to it? How about that? They brought out the jumbo package and still couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage enough to pick up that 1st down.
Impressive. They were ready defensively for that jumbo set. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. That'll be a 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the Chargers will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
2nd down following the run. Looking to throw. Robbins throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Charger first. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Let's go!
On 1st down, Robbins, and Reed with it over the middle. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. It kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. It'll be a gain of 7, but I'd imagine we'll see the punt team here on 4th down.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked.
Go to something else.
And maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
No gain on that run. And while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I've got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Yoder. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down.
Illegal forward pass. Offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
That's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
The Giants on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 14.
Here we go now.
They're going to look to throw. And that is incomplete.
We're into the 2nd half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Chargers getting set to go. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Over the middle, it's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 12 yards there. The Chargers have a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
They hit that crossing route really well. Excellent timing, puts it right on him, and he keeps running.
Yeah, turned it upfield for good yardage. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment, defense.
So they got him coming up from his linebacker spot.
And sometimes the position designation really doesn't matter. If you creep up to the line of scrimmage, you just have to look for the football. Make sure it moves before you do.
And now here's a carry heading left. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
On 1st and 10, Robbins. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. It's a gain of 5, and it'll make it 2nd down. To throw on 2nd down. Robbins firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
And they give this time to the tailback. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
And as we've seen throughout this season, it's no picnic trying to score touchdowns against this unit. They're ranked number 1 against the run. But it's also difficult because it's not easy to throw the ball against them either.
Final minute now of the 3rd quarter. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Robbins. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
The Chargers on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5.
Here we go.
Back to throw. Robbins. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes, carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. He's got it, and the lead swells. It's 28-6. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at the StubHub Center in Carson. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. It's a very short kick, taken right at the 20. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. And now out come the Giants. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
The Giants on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 14. They'll look to throw here. Throw left side complete. That's Brooks. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked in the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
They'll drop the throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. So the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down.
Now let's go.
They'll set up to throw. And a throw right sideline is complete. A good pickup there, a 22. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he is going to be knocked flat on his back. Oh, a big hit at the 13-yard line. 2nd down, and the offense in search of 6 yards. Now a handoff looking right. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Giants are able to draw a bit closer.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
And they're going to get the 2-point conversion, caught in the end zone, and that cuts the lead a bit further. So they elect to pass there on the 2-point try. Sometimes could prove risky. There it worked out.
Yeah, and I love how you bring up that it can prove risky because if you get it intercepted and they return it, that's 2 points for the defense, but not on that play.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Here comes the Chargers offense now back out onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting.
And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
To throw on second down. Robbins. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down. The Chargers on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. From the gun, Robbins. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. 31 yards on the punt there. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And New York set to take the field. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch it in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, give up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Now back to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he gets this one across midfield for the first down to the 46. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. He'll drop to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Yoder. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
In the red zone this time. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5.
Every team we ever talk to that continues to run the ball in a game, even when they haven't had much success, all talks about attrition, don't they? If you keep running it, eventually good things are likely to happen. It's been a hard go in this game today, hasn't it?
Yeah, this defense, they've met pretty much every challenge in front of them this afternoon.
They're still trying to run.
And he is in. Touchdown, New York. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Giants have got it back to a 1-score game. Nice execution there. Good job by the O-line getting him in for the second time.
And you always have to start with credit there when you're having a big game. I mean, you don't get there by yourself. That's rare. But how about the ability to see the proper holes, pick the proper place to go, and find his way into the end zone?
So that drive goes 8 plays, and it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The Chargers offense gets set. They head back onto the field. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Wide open receiver complete. And he's able to get this one up to the 45-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Off the play fake. Robbins under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. So now 3rd and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since. And he'll give it here to his running back. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. Here's Drew Kaiser now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. New York set to take the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. They'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Brooks. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. And an alley to run. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a 1st down again. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Clock rolling as the Giants will hurry to the line. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. He'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Yoder. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute. So getting the big touchdown they needed late in the fourth. Now what do? You conservative and just tie it up?
No, I think you put your practice into game situation. Go as fast as possible. You already have your play call ready to go. Go for two and decide it right now.
And now a critical extra point attempt here. And no sweat. He puts it through, and we are tied here in the fourth. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. That'll be taken in the end zone. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll put it out to the 25. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
And we need overtime to decide this one after 4 quarters of play. We're all even. The extra session in a moment. This is the NFL on EA Sports. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
Short kick here, fielded about the 17. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Set for their first drive here in overtime. And this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team. And that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
And it's been loud in here so far. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Short gain there to start overtime.
Almost a tester play, wasn't it? Wanted to see if the guys on defense were going to fit the gaps the correct way because we're in overtime. So it's not just physical tiredness out there, right? Mentally, are you still doing what you're supposed to do? And they were up to the task on that play.
And certainly fatigue on both sides of the football. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 7.
I once had a defensive player in the NFL tell me, if I beat and dominate the guy across from me, I'm helping my team. Well, winning one-on-one battles is always a part of the game, but when you have good team defense, as we just saw there, one broken tackle, but he didn't get away because the rest of the guys arrived to put him on the ground.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
Pass, offense.
So they decline it as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you've got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Yeah, part 1 is done, now part 2. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 18 big yards on that one, and a Charger first. That last pass puts him over 300 yards now in the game. More importantly, though, big first down here in OT.
And the team around him has a lot of confidence now after picking up that first down. Everyone seems a little more energized. But did I hear you before the game call in and say, this is my quarterback for your fantasy league? Because he just gave you a good stat, didn't he?
He did, and I appreciate it. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
Watch 85, all 85, watch 85. Here we go.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Robbins, and he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Call it a pickup of 7, and just like that, it's 3rd down. The Chargers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Here we go.
Now they'll run on the draw. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
I haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the first down sticks are, and get there.
Let's go.
Throwing on first down. Robbins. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he gets it down to the 32. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Here's the backup now, the former Badger, Melvin Gordon. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive.
Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. So they go out of the gun, try to delay it on the draw, but nothing there.
Yeah, good play by the defense there. They sniffed it out and made sure there were no gaps for him to run. For the offense, though, you have to think to yourself, maybe I go play action down the road.
And the third down pass falls incomplete.
I wonder, Brandon, I just wonder, you think maybe he was worried about where he was on the field? Was he far enough? Was he close enough to the first down sticks?
Absolutely. He was right there by him, and I think he was thinking first down before he caught that football.
Yeah, got to catch it first, because if you don't catch it, there's no chance of picking up a first down.
Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And picked up by the Chargers. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. And a costly mistake. Coaches talk so much about ball security, and in overtime, so paramount.
Barton, do you ever wonder if maybe they talk about it too much?
Too much, yeah.
It doesn't seem like you can, but maybe by discussing it time and time again, and you know they overemphasized it here, it almost became self-fulfilling.
And any points beat them here. Field goal or a touchdown now. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. Neither team scored yet. Now we go to sudden death. Next points win this game.
How about the tension right now? It is ratcheted up, isn't it? I mean, now whatever happens, points are scored, that's your ball game. Can't wait to see the defense now. Do they get a little more aggressive in order to not let the team just drive the ball easily down the field?
Got to be careful, though, right?
Yeah, if you're too aggressive, you just give up something easy and cheap. But some defensive coordinators, they'd rather take a stand that way as opposed to being nickeled and dimed down the field.
It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be a second down.
Come on, let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. They'll be down to just one remaining as we step aside here in overtime. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout.
Here we go.
Off play action. Robbins. And some room to maneuver. And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters, what you wanted. But how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for the home team here, the win gets them back to 500 at 6-6 on the year. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. From Southern California, so long, everybody.